Hey y'all, today I want to talk to you for a few minutes about pigs and about this growed up mess of a garden that we have out here past our greenhouse. So you can see where the pigs are right now. These are some of our old spot feeder pigs. They are weaned off their moms. They're probably anywhere from like 3 months to, there's some out there that's probably more like 4 to 5 months old. Two different age groups out there. You can see half of their pen is stripped pretty bare. We call these our teenager pigs, and even though old spots don't root very much, this teenager age where they've been weaned, they will root around and waller around. They tend to get into things. They're just more mischievous, I guess. They're adventuresome, a lot more than the older ones. Our older pigs are kind of just in a pasture that never gets rooted up. It's got a lot of grass, but these are just kids, if you will. And they're all gonna come over here and talk to you even right now. What y'all doing? So part of their pen down on the other end still has good grass in it. It's not all grass, some of it's weeds, but it does have foliage, I guess you would say, in there. But that pen needs a rest, all in all. So today we're gonna make that happen. Earlier in the video, I showed you the growed up field in front of our greenhouse. That has actually been planned for these guys. They're gonna go out there. It's gonna help us and them. So I'm gonna tell you in a little bit about why we're doing that, but I need to get a pen set up so that they can head on out there and start eating. FYI, if you're new to pigs, they will eat anything they can reach, so put your water hoses up. So we got the fence all set up. The pigs are gonna be so happy. I can't wait to turn them in there. The reason we did this is because this was our garden last year. It is in dire need of some soil amendments. So this is our solution to the problem. We got all of this ground cover seed from Hoss Tools. There's a link below for them all the time. Check them out. Great seeds, great germination. And so we planted this last fall. It's a combination of clover and mustard greens and radishes. And so those are all things we planted strategically. It wasn't just a plant those on a whim. Those were planted for their soil building properties. So this is going to do a couple things. Those things are going to draw up minerals from deep in the soil because we have depleted our soil just like a lot of gardeners and farmers have done. And so that will bring minerals to the surface. If you wanted to plant your garden this very next year, you would probably grow better plants because you would have things available to them closer to the surface that they need. We have chosen not to do that. So this is another step in the soil building process for us. We are going to turn these pigs in there. They're gonna get to eat these things and forage, and then also kind of break up the ground. And that is in preparation for planting another round of ground cover this summer. We're gonna be planting summer crops, soil building crops. So I'll be telling you about those in the future. And also, as they eat, you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna poop and they're going to replenish the soil that way. Now I wanna give you one word of caution about turning animals in to break up a garden for you. Look into whatever specific animal you are turning into your garden, how long you need to wait to plant after you take them out. Because there are certain animals like You don't want to go in there and turn chickens in and then immediately plant lettuces and things that you're going to actually eat the leaves. You can, but you are running a risk. Just look into that for yourselves. There are diseases and things that you can get from contamination by poop. So just make sure that if what you're turning in there, you can immediately plant safely, or if it's something that you need to let it compost down and like maybe put them in there in the fall in preparation for spring planting. So I did want to mention that. We will not be immediately planting where these pigs have been. We will let it lie and we will plant the summer crops. We'll probably turn them in there again this year in preparation for next year's garden, like almost a year from now, more like 10 months from now. So let's get the fence turned on and get these guys in there. One very important thing to mention about pigs is there are things that are toxic to pigs. So know what you've planted, know what you're turning your pigs in on to eat, because it would be terrible to think you're turning them in on something great to feed them and then possibly kill them. There are things, you can look up a list that are toxic, even just one leaf. So you definitely want to avoid those. Some pretty common things on that list, like morning glories, elderberries, azaleas, licorice plant, milkweed, things like that. So there are some pretty common things. Flax plants. Just know what is on those lists. There are less toxic things that won't kill them, but they're not ideal for pigs to be eating. And some of those things are like cedars and daffodils and hydrangeas and things like that we might have in our yard. So just be aware of those things. All of these things we're turning them into today are safe for them, but I would hate for you to do something to harm your pig. The less toxic things will just give them like nausea and diarrhea and vomiting. Some things you can let them get into will make them swell, just like if you got something that you're allergic to. So just be aware, watch them when you turn them into something new. Just be on guard. Don't just turn them in and then just leave. Make sure that they are acting okay after they've eaten for a bit. One more thing I wanted to mention, probably our most asked questions are, what is the best whatever, cow, pig, chicken, whatever, insert it, to raise? What's your favorite kind and what's the best one? And that is a really hard question for us to answer because it depends on your end goal. In fact, we just had Jill from Whispering Willow over last night and she filmed a video and we were talking about pigs. And that's what I told her. It depends on your end goal. It depends on your situation. It depends on your homestead and your acreage. So there's not just one standard answer on what type of pigs is the best. It's going to be whatever you desire to raise, whatever you like, and then also what fits your operation. Are you looking for something to tear up your ground? Because that's what a lot of the pigs that we bought that were crossbreds of show pigs, that's what they have done. They have tore up the ground. They've cleared out an entire section of woods for us that was overgrown. But then you take the old spots, and when they are young like these are now, they're going to tear the ground up somewhat. In fact, I'll keep you guys posted and I'll show you exactly what they do out here. But as they grow up, they're not great rooters, and that is what we got them for. We didn't want our pastures all tore up and to look like we had pigs, if you know what I mean. We wanted our ground to still be pretty and pastures and things like that. Also, you have to take into consideration, how long do you want to raise these out? Ours are raised out in about 8 months, whereas some of the smaller homestead breeds like Kune, American guinea hogs, even the Mangalitas, some of those take upwards of like 18 months to raise out. If that's okay with you and you're not looking for one to grow fast and get big like the old spots do, that might be a better fit for you. Another thing to consider is, are you raising breeders? Are you raising a boar and a sow? Or are you just getting some feeder pigs like once a year or twice a year or whatever, because that's going to determine what type you want to raise. Do you want to get them in the spring and then by the fall you're ready to butcher them? If so, you're going to need a faster growing one. So all of those are things to consider, and I have this theory on a lot of things. Whatever is best for you is the thing that you will do. So whichever type that will fit you and you will do and start raising your own food is probably the best for you. It may not be the best for us, but that's okay. Here on our farm, we try to be as judgment-free as possible on all things that other people are doing, because we don't have all the answers, and what is best for our farm or what is best for so-and-so's farm on YouTube or wherever, your neighbor, just may not be best for you. And you have to go with what is best for you. And that's just pretty good standards to live by in all of life. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean it's best for you. You do you, and you'll probably be happier and you'll probably be more successful. Thanks for hanging out with me. We got these pigs in there. They're happy. I'm going to keep you updated on how they take care of this and what it looks like over the course of the next few weeks. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. God bless.